It's time for the MCTS Experience mini episode.
Welcome, everybody. Very excited about today's mini episode of the MCTS Experience. I have 4 members of the inaugural class of the STEM Academy. These students came in 4 years ago as wide-eyed freshmen, joined our STEM Academy, and they're all about to graduate tomorrow night. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Hello.
Would you mind just sound off your names for us? Let's begin right here with you, young lady.
I'm Zikiya Evans.
Alexander Johnson, Christian Johnson.
And Sharon Vaides.
Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So, yeah, big night tomorrow night. Did you when you first entered the STEM Academy, and I'll ask this question to Sharon, did you envision wearing the cap and gown and thinking what it would be like and what you're going to go through tomorrow night?
Honestly, I was just focused on 9th grade. I wasn't really focused on the future, but that was the goal essentially. But I'm glad that I'm here now and that all my hard work paid off.
Good for you. All right. So also next year, I'd like to hear a little bit about what you guys are going to do next year. I happen to know, well, I'll let you guys say it. Johnson boys, not to treat you like one person. Christian, what are you guys doing next year?
So I am attending Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute
Yes.
as a freshman, and I'm going in as a undeclared engineer. So I'll be taking a variety of courses, discovering what type of engineering I want to do. So there's one class I'm taking, Better World for Engineering, and every week they'll bring in some different aspect of engineering. So for the first semester, I'll be taking 1 week of civil and then another week of, could be environmental, could be any variety of courses
my gosh.
there.
Cool. And then along the way, you'll figure out what exactly you want your main interest area to be.
Yeah, so I'm going in more looking towards electrical. So maybe some of my extracurricular classes, something like that, will be more designed towards electrical. But again, I'm keeping it open just so I know.
Very nice.
See what type of engineering's out there.
And just speaking of extracurricular activities, I'll ask you to pass the mic over to your brother there. Alex, you also are going to Rensselaer Polytech next year, right?
Yes.
So tell me then instead about your high school experience. You were involved in a lot of extracurricular activities.
Yeah. So at my home school, I went to Steiner Homeschool as a homeschool.
Okay.
And
you live in the Steiner district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did the play all 4 years. I did lacrosse all 4 years.
Wow.
And I was in the select choir for the last 2 years with the choir director.
That's amazing. So you would finish up your day at the STEM Academy.
Yeah.
Back when it was on the campus of Mercer and also now.
Yeah. I would go through the whole day at STEM and then go over to Steiner for just those few things.
Okay. So what was that like for you? I mean, you were still a part of the Steiner community, I guess. You still had friends there. Were you able to handle both pretty well?
Yeah, I was able to find friends pretty quickly. They don't really care that I went here. I just been myself, and it doesn't really matter like that you come here. You could still be friends with people at your home school.
Yeah, absolutely. Good for you for doing those activities too. And I guess you know people from middle school and stuff like that.
Very, very few.
Is that right?
Because most of my middle school went to Nottingham, and like I was one of the few kids that went to Steiner.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Sounds like you still managed pretty well.
Yeah.
Good. All right. I'd like to ask Zikiya. First of all, so did you go to Fisher Middle School?
Yes, I did.
Any regrets about taking this as a high school experience?
No, there was no regrets. It was a struggle at first with the transition, because I did go to UN High at first, and I transitioned over, so it was like a little harder making friends. Came in October, so it was like a little different, but I made friends after that. The transition after that was pretty well.
Okay, very good. And give me one look back on your 4 years with us. Give me one good memory for you.
I became the parliamentarian my freshman year,
Yes.
my sophomore year, and my junior year. So that was a really good memory. So.
And I remember when you were elected parliamentarian during your
really
sophomore
exciting.
year. What I feel like you would have some sort of a gavel or paddle, and
Yeah.
you were sort of in charge of everyone somehow.
Yeah.
What was that job? Tell me about that
The
job.
parliamentarian basically to make everybody be quiet in the meetings, make sure everyone's listening to the president, and to make sure we're doing what we have to for the meeting.
Enforcer of sorts.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard your voice when you're not on a podcast.
Yeah.
You're good enforcer.
Thank you.
Nice and loud, Zikiya.
Thank you.
So Sharon, tell me a little bit about this past year. You had an interesting senior year at the academy, because just tell everybody what you were doing.
Yeah, I did. I was juggling 3 things at a time. I was juggling college classes, an internship, and a job. And although it was stressful at times, it was very, very helpful because through my job, I got my internship, and that kind of paved the way to get my job a lot easier because I worked with kids at both things.
Okay.
And then for college classes, I was able to work around an easy schedule because I work for the Y. So they just do morning and aftercare, so I could just do classes in between, and it worked out perfectly for me.
Let me hear about the internship a little bit.
The internship was at Mercer Elementary School, and it was basically I worked as a classroom assistant for children that had gone through very traumatic experiences.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been very, very rewarding.
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
and I spoke with the person in charge of your internship. She said very nice things about you. So you did a very good job.
Thank you.
Anybody like to jump in with any advice, maybe for somebody thinking about the academy or up and coming students?
Yeah, I will. I just say, just keep your head in the game, stay in there, don't try to quit. It does get tough at times, but you got to keep pushing, keep striving, keep pressing.
That's great advice. Well said, Zikiya.
Thank you.
I want to thank you all very much for joining us. Congratulations on graduation. I know you're going to have great futures.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Alex, Christian, Zikiya, and Sharon. We'll see you tomorrow night at the graduation, right, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
you will.
All right, awesome. This is Mr. Orff on behalf of myself and Mr. Nash and Nick MacGyver Sikowski inviting you to discover your passion and unlock your future.